Hey there guys, Sweet Tooth here. I'm just in the middle of uploading the next Explaining As Magic, which, by the way, I'll put an annotation somewhere around here so that way you guys can watch your own time. But for now, this is sort of a quick little vlog as a follow-up to my honest review of Twilight time. Now, after kind of breathing about it and reading some of the comments I'm seeing here on Equestria Daily, I wasn't wrong when I thought to myself whenever watching the episodes in general and just doing the review, I knew a lot more people were gonna like it than I initially thought, and you know what? I was right, because yesterday I did sort of like a quick review on it in Equestria Daily, just sort of posted it as a comment in the follow-up about it, as I have here. But yeah, even though there are a few people that don't particularly like the episode like I do. In fact, there was one comment on the video on YouTube for that matter that was like, oh, thank goodness I'm not the only one. I don't want to force my opinions on people, but I'm glad I'm not the only one on this. But yeah, as I'm reading the comments on the Equestria Daily, yeah, a lot of people like this episode, like they relate to it or they really get the moral. And after posting my analysis on there was one person who so far has made a reply to my comment, and I'm just going to go briefly onto it. That this guy's saying, you're reading too deep into this. If anything, this episode was mean to Twilight, but little kids do act like this. Okay, yeah, I'm getting that, and this is a point that I made in Daring Don't when I did that quick little thing back in the season 4 recap so far, that, you know, that was sort of a little nod to the fans of Friendship is Magic, that they would act like this around, you know, the people who made the show or just people who made them name out themselves from this community. So I get that. What I do not like about the episode, I still don't like for that matter, is that the fact that it is so mean-spirited. It's only focusing on the negative side for the kids, which I'm not saying that's bad. I mean, kids are gonna do this sort of stuff. I know we as kids did that sort of stuff as well, but I would like it if there was sort of a positive balance as well, like the kids are gonna be like regretting their actions, which doesn't happen all the time, but for this instance, I would have liked that to happen. And the same person who gave the great title of Over-Analysis is Magic. Obviously. Good job, guy. Good job. You obviously fought hard to attack me with that one. Oh, you know what? Future me editing this, make up some sort of logo which replaces the current logo with Over-Analysis. So saying that's Over-Analyzing is Magic. There you go. Yeah. If ever another episode like that comes back again, I'm gonna use that, so, good job. But I guess another reason why this episode affects me so bad as it did, because I know that people are gonna get that, you know, kids do act like this around, like, people that are special to them, and that kids kind of make up these lies to these people so that way they'll pick themselves. I know people like that. I've seen other shows that do it like this. But for me, I was more the victim here. Like, and it never got resolved for me on my part because I was pretty much a stupid kid. And that's not saying like I did stupid things. I was fooled into these stupid things. And even back then, because let's just say for personal reasons I don't want to say right now, I have a mental illness that I inherited from my mother, which I don't care, I love it to bits, but it's because of that I never really stuck up for myself back then. I got fooled into these things that I never really had the friends that I wish that I had back then. And it's because of these things happening to me in high school and such that I can't really stand episodes like this, because I was the victim, and while everything got resolved in the episode, which is good, and the moral is there, I still like that. That never got resolved for me, and I know it's over-analyzing it, and I know it's for selfish reasons, but the pain still hurts, man. It's like, it can't be described in words without being all dramatic, because I don't want to be like that. But I want people to understand that everyone's gonna have their own, their own thoughts on some things, like this episode in general, so I can understand why people love it. But just like any other episode in the show, you're gonna have someone that's gonna be like, oh, I didn't like this for whatever reason. Say, like, Feeling Peaky King, for example. That is one of my favorite episodes from the show. But I imagine somewhere out there, someone is saying, oh, that's too cartoony for my taste. There's not enough cuteness at all. I don't know. I can't read people's minds. But in a sense, as a reviewer, I have to look at both the pros and the cons of whatever I see, or whatever video game I play, or whatever book I read, all that sort of stuff, because nothing is perfect in this world, guys. It's just, as long as you can appreciate whatever you like all the more, but still admit that it has faults, if it's few or whatever, then that's fine. It's just for this instant alone, because every other episode from Season 4 so far has been fine. I've had no problems, even Flight to the Finish, even though Diamond Tiara was a twat then, that still was relatable with Scootaloo forcing herself into trying to make herself fly because she wants to do it for her friends more than anything else. But for this episode, this is the only one so far, I hope it's going to be the only one, where there was more cons than pros in there. And like I said, I mean no disrespect to anyone who likes this episode, because that's your opinion. I can't take that away from you. And I can understand why you love it. But at the same time, there are people who are not gonna like this episode, and that's gonna be me included. And you're gonna have to respect the feelings of that as well, whether they're stupid or emotional like mine. I don't think I can put it into any more better words than I already trying to conceive right now, so you know what? I'm gonna use a clip from an online show from one of my heroes, as it were, Doug Walker, aka the Nostalgia Critic, when he had to say this in his Man of Steel review, and I think it'd be relevant to this topic as well.
I don't see the same thing, but at the very least, I know that's what you see. So, as long as you're viewing it because you want to see the best of strength and kindness rise up against the worst of oppression and force, all I can say is, go ahead and enjoy it, man.
Obviously, I couldn't have put it better myself without mumbling and not getting my words right. You can see why kids picked on me. But yeah, final and thoughts on this, guys. If you love Twilight Time, by me all means, go ahead. More power to you. I'm starting to see why people do, but at the same time, have some respect on my part. And for people that don't like this episode themselves, because there are a few people that don't. That way, if we sort of like understand both the pros and the cons of whatever media that a great show like this has brought onto our table, then this will be a more amazing community than it already is. And I hope we can even move away from this, so that way we can focus on this week's coming episode featuring the Breezies, which I'm still trying to figure out what the heck these things are. I mean, they keep saying they're miniature ponies, even though I haven't seen any designs for that yet. And is it a Fluttershy episode? It was hinted and free for the crowd that this